Welcome to Compleat Kidz Online, friendly discussions about autism and other developmental disabilities. Learn how working together is working better, one conversation at a time.
Hello, welcome back to Compleat Kidz Podcast. I'm here with Rebecca Stubbs today. Rebecca, you are?
I am a regional lead therapist with Compleat Rehab. I work out of our Gastonia clinic and then manage also our Riverwood clinic and Steele Creek clinic.
So you're the lead for those three clinics.
Yep.
So the reason why we have Rebecca in, for people at home that don't know this, Compleat Kidz has a sister company called Compleat Rehab. I'll let Rebecca tell you exactly what they do because she'll be much better at it than I am. But they focus primarily on you don't do any kids, right? You have a minimum age?
School age kids, so they got to be able to play sports, follow directions. A little bit more than toddlers.
Okay, so there is some overlap.
Yeah.
So tell us about what Compleat Rehab does and what you offer. And we have, I think, 14 clinics.
We have 11 clinics.
11 clinics throughout the state, mostly in the Charlotte area ish. And then just tell us what those clinics do.
Yeah, so we treat outpatient sports and orthopedics. So anything from post-op surgeries to sports injuries to chronic pain or acute injury. We also have a specialty track currently in women's health. I'm one of our women's health therapists. So we treat pelvic floor. And then our Gastonia location also has aquatic therapy. So we treat aquatic therapy as well.
Meaning in the pool?
Yep. A hot pool, 97 degrees.
Oh, nice. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a little warm for me. But you guys, so I go to my doctor. I get, Bob's got a bad knee. I ask him to recommend me to a physical therapy, or he says, just gives me a prescription, for lack of a better word, and then I could take that to Compleat Rehab?
Yep. So you can actually come direct access to physical therapy in the state of North Carolina.
So I don't have to go to a doctor. I can just go right in and say, hey, my knee hurts.
If you don't have government insurance. So if you have a private insurance, then you can just call us and walk in the door.
Beautiful.
If you have Medicare or Medicaid and some supplementaries, they do make you have a referral. But it's just a quick call and a fax over, and we'd like to get you in within about 24 to 48 hours.
Because that's when the best time to treat the. So you're talking about 28 to 48 hours of being injured?
The earlier the better, but anytime you go to your doctor, we want to get you in quick to get you feeling better and get you moving and back to your functional activities. So once we get your referral, we try to get you in as quickly as possible.
And I know it probably runs the gamut, but what is a typical time between walking in the door and walking out the door?
So sessions are 45 minutes.
Okay.
And then we typically see people anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week, and usually about 6 to 8 weeks of physical therapy. The goal is to
we can get them in pretty good shape after that.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I hear a lot of things. I deal with the adult side a little bit about pelvic floor, and I don't know what that means. So talk to me like I'm an idiot, which I am, and tell me what pelvic floor is all about.
Yeah. So pelvic floor therapy is a specialized therapy to treat the muscles of the pelvic floor, which are internal to the pelvis. So primarily both male and female focused. I primarily treat females, but it's anything from pelvic pain to urinary incontinence to even low back pain and hip pain related to pelvic pain. I treat a lot of pregnancy and postpartum, so maintaining activity during pregnancy or returning to physical activity and functional movements after pregnancy. So it's just a focused group on that muscle group to treat the symptoms of the pelvic floor specifically, as opposed to just like a shoulder or a knee. It's the same, but just for that muscle group.
So, I'm a mom. We'll pretend just for a little bit.
Yeah.
I just given birth. How long after I give childbirth should I reach out to you guys?
Usually within like 4 to 6 weeks. Most of the time you get cleared at 6 weeks to return to physical activity. And we see people anywhere in that 4 to 6 week range to start getting things back moving.
And then how long is that normally before I don't want to say back to before pregnancy, but close?
Yeah, it's usually a longer time. I usually only see people about once a week and then taper them off to get them back to, it depends what you want to get back to. If you want to get back to CrossFit and running, it's usually a little bit longer. But I see people once a week for a few weeks, and then the goal is to get them independent on a strengthening program, resistance training, whatever it is.
Excellent. And is that also, would you recommend that for non-weekend warriors as well? Just getting back to...
if you're exercising at all, I consider you an athlete. So
Right.
I think that if you want to move, and we normalize having pelvic floor symptoms, we like kind of joke about it, right? If you're a mom and you've had kids, you pee your pants, but it's never normal to pee your pants.
Right.
So if you can come to therapy and resolve it, then anybody.
Well, I guess
can
that's what I
come.
was talking about. Like, not when I say non-athlete, I mean literally like a couch potato.
Yeah.
It sounds like it would still have some benefit.
Yeah, I see people who've never aren't active and haven't had children to 65 years old and wants to just walk around our neighborhood without symptoms. So
Awesome.
the whole gamut.
Awesome. And then when they do walk in, what's the process? So I just walk in, I got some knee problems. Just tell me, there's a guy that's hasn't been through that, or what happens?
Yeah, so you fill out a little bit of new patient paperwork, and then we bring you back for an initial evaluation. It's one-on-one for 45 minutes. We get your general history, your subjective history, what happened, what is happening currently, and kind of your functional status as a baseline. And then we do objective tests and measures, determine your baseline strength, function, range of motion, and your goals. What do you want to be able to do when you leave us? And then we usually start with treatment on that first visit. And then we talk with our patient to decide what works best for them financially and obtainable with their schedule to how often they want to come, and then get them scheduled before they leave, and a home exercise program with usually a printout so we don't test their memories, and get them back in as quick as possible if we need it.
Do you ever, like, if someone walks in, you go, oh no, this is nothing, you're fine? Does that happen?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have someone come in and it won't be under our scope of practice. So it'll be like, you don't really need physical therapy. Or sometimes I refer them out to another doctor, or they feel really good after just getting some general information. And I say, here's my email and my card. Call me in 30 days if you need to come back. So it's really just dependent on that initial evaluation.
And then you guys handle all of the, well, not you specifically, but the front desk will handle the paperwork for the insurance company and all that stuff. I ain't got no headaches. And
Nope, we have everything from your insurance authorization to how much your copay will be, and then we schedule out and send you scheduling reminders and everything from start to finish.
And what if I'm I'm a recent grad, or I'm in another physical therapy job I'm not really jazzed about? Are we always looking for a physical therapist? Or
Yeah, we're always looking for providers. We want to grow into more locations this year, hopefully opening more women's health clinics, but just also more general orthopedic clinics in the Charlotte area and out through North Carolina. So we're definitely always looking for people.
And that's usually on the website under careers, I believe, right?
Yep.
And for the people who don't know, the website is CompleatRehab.com. We spell complete kind of funky, COMPLEAT. Rehab. Do you know the story behind that? I just found
don't.
that. So the original owners of the company were old book geeks, and the original spelling of complete in Old English is that way. So
Interesting.
yeah. So you learn something every day.
Yeah. Good to know. People do ask.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like,
Well,
why is your spelling like this? I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Now I know.
well, now you know. They were, I guess, Old English. I don't know. I'll have to look that up for next podcast. The before a certain period of time, it was actually spelt that way regularly or standard. But now we change things up a little bit. So awesome. It was great having you. I love all the info. If anybody, is interested or needs some help, head on out to the website. You'll see all the locations where they are. They can call. The numbers are all listed on the website.
Yep.
So we can call directly, to the clinic, call the front desk, schedule up a little evaluation. If you call to Rebecca's clinic, maybe you get Rebecca to have a look
There you
at
go.
you.
Yeah,
If
we
not,
have
I'm sure somebody competent.
Yep, we have great providers in all of our locations. Each clinic lead is also listed on the site with their email. So if you want to reach out and ask any questions, feel free people can call and ask about therapy or questions before they come in,
Awesome.
or come in for that initial
And
visit.
you're marked as the lead on the website.
Yep.
Perfect.
And we also offer free consultations. So if you think you need physical therapy, but you might have a high copay or a high deductible, you can come in for that initial visit to get a screening to at least see if it is something you need. And then if it is, then we can always sign you up for that traditional program, or see what your individual needs
And what are some
there.
things, like, maybe I think, I don't have any problems, but maybe some things that you see that, especially guys are notorious with, like, it's just a little bump, that could maybe mean you got some more serious problems that you need to get looked at?
I think anything that limits you functionally. If you second guess doing something in your regular daily life, I think at least having someone help you is worth it before it gets out of hand. Whether it's carrying groceries inside or playing with your kids or going out of town and feeling like you can't go for a hike or whatever it may be. We also treat things like vestibular conditions like dizziness. We treat headaches, TMJ, and jaw disorders. So we can treat really a lot of things across the board as long as it's musculoskeletal. So if you think at all that something's bothering you functionally when you move, or if you sit too long or something like that, we can always at least address it and let you know if you came to the right place.
It's funny because I always think of like, oh, a bad knee, a bad hip, a bad shoulder or stuff like that. But there's all these other things that you guys cover off, which is great. So we always end with a question, in the kids department or the kids division. We have the little superheroes that represent each of the disciplines within the organization. So we ask if you could have any superpower, what would that superpower be? And if you want, some people say a why.
I think time travel would be really cool, both to like go back and see people I can't see anymore, but also maybe travel into the future to see what's to come a little bit.
I like your style. So once again, anybody looking for any kind of these services or just to chat, the staff is there to help you out. Compleat Kidz, remember the funky spelling. I'm sorry, Compleat Rehab, remember the funky spelling.com. And, feel free to reach out and you can find Rebecca on there if you have any more questions pertaining to this podcast.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
To continue the conversation, visit the links to our website, Facebook page, or Instagram in the comments.